Hello, everyone. My name is Gabe Rodriguez. I'm a junior here at Rutgers, and I'm 20 years old. I'm on the track and field team, and this is my personal financial plan. So, some of the things that I want to talk about are my short term, long term, and intermediate goals, and how I will be obtaining them. And just to start off, some of my short term goals are obviously graduating with a bachelor's degree and hopefully possibly a master's degree as well. And I'm also looking to graduate debt free as well. Okay, so here's my appendix, and as you can see here, this is my credit score, and this here is my 2 week spending. So, as you can see, over this 2 week period, this is how much I spent on my clothes, food, personal care, activities, haircut, and also miscellaneous slash Amazon. So, as you can see here, on a weekly basis, I spend about like around $200 depending on the week. Every week is different for me. Being an athlete, my expenses aren't always super consistent, so I'm not always spending a ton of money on different things like food or clothes because those are some things that I get covered. And also, I also have rent that is being covered as well, which is nice. But yeah, on the right here, you can see this is my confidence score and my retirement calculator. And based off of my current situation, this is the age that I would like to retire. And these are my living expenses currently based off of how I live right now. Okay, so my current situation. So currently, I am in college looking to complete my master's and bachelor's degree debt free. I'm not working right now. I'm a college student and I live in an off campus house. Some of my intermediate goals are to own a property, get a car, get a job, and start working on creating a business and also possibly getting into real estate and also seeing what my degree has to offer in the future. And some of my long term goals are owning multiple properties, having children, getting married, and creating financial freedom for myself and the people around me. Some other long term goals that I would like to achieve are also, owning things like a boat, multiple cars, and just be able to financially support myself and the people that I love around me. Okay, so as you can see here, this is my budgeting and savings plan, and these are some things that I want to do to kind of cut back on my cost and moving forward into the future, creating some good habits so that I'm able to be financially freedom by the time that, I want to start my family and move towards different things in my life. So some of the things that I have here are be able to cover my financial needs, which is a must, rent, clothes, food, and all those other things that need to be covered. So the next thing is starting to cut back on money and saving towards the future. So for me, that looks like looking at some of the purchases that I make and, kind of justifying them and maybe having some wants and needs and also cutting back and just being more aware of the purchases that I'm making. Number three is checking my bank statements, which is super big for me because that is something that I don't do a lot, and that is something that I need to do way more because, I'm not tracking a lot of the money that comes in and out of my bank account, and that is something that I really need to get on. Another one is cutting back in certain areas that I can save money for something else. So for me, that would kind of be like going out and having like a treat or going out and spending some money on food or going out with my friends. So if I'm able to still do those things, but just do them a lot less, that would save me a ton of money in the long run, whether I can put that towards investments or whatever. Another thing is cooking more food and not going out to eat, like I said before. And my last thing is making my own coffee, which is something that is pretty vital for me, but it is something that I can definitely cut back on. All right, so banking. Banking is something that is very important because there's a lot of things that can come from this. So, some things that I have here are opening up a bank account with PNC, which I currently already have, and also it has a ton of benefits for me as a student. I'm able to do a lot of different things with it. It offers mobile banking, there's physical branches, ATM, checking accounts, saving accounts, and I'm also able to mortgage and their brokerage services. There's a student account, and it also offers a debit and credit card, which is great for me. Taxes, current and future. Okay, so with my taxes and current future, I'm looking at things like the standard deduction and itemized deduction because these are two things that will help me kind of propel forward in my future, and mainly the itemized deduction because the itemized deduction is a tax credit that kind of lets me take some money, whether if I was to donate it or have a mortgage or large medical expenses. So that is something that I will be using in the future, as well as capital gains tax, which is something that I will use moving forward when it comes to my investments, my stocks, my bonds, and it is something that I will keep in mind when it comes to my future in that regard. Okay, so now we have personal loans, things that I will be using to, buy a house, buy a car in the future. So, first off, I want to start off with the FHA loan, and that is a first home owner's loan. Okay, so with the FHA loan, it's something that I want to use to buy my first home and also kind of start to branch out and also be able to eventually own more properties down the line. And with the business loan, it is something that I also am interested in because I would like to start a business and it would help me get off the ground and also start being able to buy things so that I can have a turnaround and also buy some things like generating revenue assets. All right, so credit and credit cards. So currently, I do not have a credit score because I don't own a credit card, but soon I will be. So I will try to be building my credit up as soon as possible. And I also want to build my credit up by getting new cards and buying things, paying them off as soon as possible. And that will help boost my credit score. And also, I will try to get my parents' credit score through cards. So another thing is taking cash from the promotions from signing up for these bank accounts and then immediately closing them and not spending any money or using the cards at all. And the three bureaus of tax and credit are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Identity theft. So identity theft is huge because identity theft is really big, and some of the things that I will be doing, some of the things that I learned moving forward will be to shred old documents, check for skimmers, purchasing an RFID wallet which will block out those signals that try to steal my cards, not using public Wi-Fi, also using VPNs and different passwords. So these are all very important in not getting my identity stolen, and these are all measures that I will be taking moving forward and be using for the rest of my life because these are things that can set me back very far if I lose my identity. So this is something that I will be taking very seriously and something that is very important to me. Also, some other things like reporting fraudulent activity right away, always checking my bank statement, which I learned is very important to be knowing the money that's coming in and out of your account, and then also only spending money at reputable slash known places, which is just like not going to random spots and just swiping your card anywhere because you don't know how legitimate some of these places may be. All right, so insurance. Okay, so for my car insurance, what I was looking at was either Plymouth Rock or Geico because they're some of the lowest rates, but they also offer very, very good coverage. And for my home, I was looking at NJM Insurance because they're highly rated in satisfaction, in customer satisfaction, and are a great option when it comes to home insurance. Okay, so for healthcare, I plan to be living close to a doctor's office when I get older, so or a hospital, so I can have regular checkups with my health. But I will be having private healthcare as well as I will also possibly in the late future think about living in an old person's home. All right, so investing. Investing is something that is very important to me because it is something that I've come to learn makes you rich if you start young. So, when it comes to that, I will be diversifying my portfolio, investing in a lot of different things, but also knowing where I'm putting most of my funds at, which will be the Roth, and a ton of different Fortune 500 companies. And also, I am very interested in bonds and CDs. So, when it comes to bonds, bonds are something that I will be investing a lot of money in because it is somewhere where I will see a return on investment most likely, and also it is somewhere where I can hold my money tax free and be able to pull it back at any time. Along with stocks, even though stocks are a little bit more risky, I will be investing most of my money into those two. Retirement planning. Okay, so this with the 401k, pension, employer's match. So these are three things that will set me up very well for, an early retirement, putting a lot of money into my pension and 401k. Um, I will also be putting a lot of money and making sure I take advantage of the employer's match and making sure that, I get the highest return and I'm able to get a lot of money from that. Roth IRA, that is something that I've not currently started investing in, but something that I will be investing in very soon because I know that it is a lot of money if I start at this age that I'm currently at and saving early for retirement. So right now, I'm not saving for retirement, but once I have my job and I'm graduated from college, that is something that I will immediately start saving for because the future is where I'm trying to get. Estate planning. When it comes to my will, trust, and insurance benefits, some of the things that I will be doing is I will be leaving my family and my close family and my children all of the money in my will, and the insurance benefits, I'll make sure that the insurance policy I have will be able to cover them for as long as I'm able to. All right, so some things I learned from this class is it's very easy to be financially independent and financially responsible if I'm determined enough. Investing can make you rich if you're young, but also in general. Watch what you're spending your money on, check balance statements, invest young, take advantage of tax cuts, and also have rainy day money saved. Backup plan. Get a job and slowly try to save money on the side, possibly move in with parents, have money in stocks and bonds just in case of emergency, and 6 months of living costs saved up. This is my presentation. Thank you.